Oh, how's it go?
Alright, let me check my levels. I can barely hear. I feel like there's a noise gate on this thing. So this is grand finals from Warring Triad in North Carolina. I think Raleigh or Durham. My friend GK, aka Flannel Jack, has a big hand in this. In running it, he might even provide the board. This tournament might also feature Tekken 8. That might be their main game. Oh! Not 100% sure. Let me see if this affects the audio levels a little bit. I do this. I don't think so. Just for me. Good. Oh! Oh, I think it's good. Okay. So I'm not going to do an intense analysis for this. Maybe I'll just let the whole thing play out, and if I see something that's worth labbing, I'll take a look. But this is Sneak versus Cwall in North Carolina. So far, it looks pretty solid. Yep, that's probably going to kill. Absolutely. Man, Dudley has high stun, but Necro does a lot of stun. So that can happen. What up, Dupes Connor? How's it going? Dupes Connor? Dupes Connor? Canoer? I wonder what this could have been. Maybe ducking into super. Maybe. It's hard to know if it's gonna hit. I actually don't know if ducking into medium punch into ducking is good to do on block or hit. Oh, dang! One thing I find against Dudley's throw range isn't that great. Neither is Necro's though. But when he's pressuring you up close, it's actually hard for him to open you up. I know that sounds weird because his overhead is ridiculous, but he's kind of weak to reversal throw. Maybe that's just true for Hugo because Hugo has great throw range. Probably a bigger punish you can do there. Probably back medium punch in the super. This might be a challenging match for Dudley. Oh, yeah, that was about right. Uppercut? I feel like there's much safer ways to do that. Yeah, it's probably jab corkscrew. It's hard to punish that. And I would look into how bad can Necro actually punish jab corkscrew blow without having to red tag it. 100% ducking on that medium punch? Yeah, it makes sense. So that's 1-0. I don't know. Wow. Sneak is coming from losers. And Flannel Jack actually got third here. I was trying to learn Necro for a while, but I was struggling with getting the ambiguous dive kick after SA3. I feel like the dive kick stuff is a part of his game plan, but not the most important part. To me, like one of the good things about Necro is his back medium punch whiff to build meter, and like medium punch to whiff punish into super. Down medium kick poke. Ooh. Oh, trade? He's a really odd character. Dudley can shimmy and punish with throw with heavy kick EX machine gun blow. Well, backswing blow is really good against throw. Like for example, if I do throw with Dudley, if he does toward medium punch, I block it, and then I throw with Hugo. It's actually hard for him to deal with that, but backswing blow will punish that. So if he does toward medium kick, light kick, backswing blow, he's going to punish my throw. Because Dudley's toward medium kick, the liver blow is +2. It's actually kind of hard for him to frame trap. Like, to beat throw with that. And you can't throw your opponent because they're throwing bull. Oh, is Third Strike a harder game than Street Fighter 4? Depends on what you mean. You can look at it whatever angle you want to. You can make a fair argument that Street Fighter 6 is harder than all the games. Street Fighter 5 is harder. It just depends on how you look at it. I mean, Street Fighter 5 Vanilla was probably the hardest Street Fighter. because it lagged for 8 frames. But that's not cool. It probably shouldn't do that. I mean, if you're talking about execution, I don't know, man. I don't even know where to begin to break that down. But I'm gonna try to focus on the match because that's such a tough conversation to navigate. Especially it gets subjective and emotional too. If I say, yeah, third strike's better. Oh, there's actually a video with Sajam. I might look at that too. I saw the video in the title. I got clickbaited, so I'm gonna watch it. Another thing, like if you say that old games were better, then it turns into a weird thing on Twitter. So it's just stupid. I just wish people would play it. It's free. It's free. Just give it a shot. You might like it. Hey. Hope you don't mind when I go off on tangents instead of focus on the match. If I were a Necro player, and maybe this is already known, I would establish what kind of dive kicks are possible. His drill, like what are the possibilities? Because I know sometimes you parry it and then the second hit whiffs for some reason. I think you can cross people up. That's like another thing, like empty drill and then go low. That seems dangerous. Cross up drill. I think he's doing everything correctly right now. Those all seem pretty cheap. And then you would look at what knockdowns you can set those drills up off of, and then how do you conveniently get to those knockdowns? Dang, I feel like Cwall was cooking there. He lost. Is that the life of Necro? That did seem pretty low damage. The cross up, fake cross up into low. You probably gotta do it with a purpose. Like, I'm gonna do this fake cross up into the low because it's gonna put them in the corner. I get it. I would play it, but it looks really tough. You mean third strike? Dude, just try it, man. One of my favorite things is people who don't know how to play it, and they play it, and they're like, wow, this game's sick. And they don't know nothing about it. Finally, I caught a 3S stream on Twitch. How you doing? I'm alright, spring cleaning. I've been... You know how they say don't let your plans be known, which I'm about to do. But my plan is to do 2 videos a day and 1 short. And yesterday I ended up not streaming, which I should have and I could have. But I did get the 2 videos and a short out. And I tend to do those at night, so I'm starting to get a good rhythm. Maybe that's exactly how I needed to approach it to begin with. Like, no, don't just do 1 video. Do 2 a day and then a short. I would think on paper this match is tough for Dudley, because I would think Necro has the tools to keep him from jumping like that. But I mean, you know, Dudley just takes 1 good opening, and then boom in the corner. I like how he didn't address that jumping. He just let it ride. Oh wow, the medium punch whipped. I wonder if medium kick would have been better there. I believe Necro's back medium punch and back medium kick are the same speed. And I think they're even close to the same total duration. I forget. I looked at it a few days ago. But their hitboxes are probably different. And maybe the medium kick has a maybe higher or lower one. Dang, is Cwall about to win this? 2-2? Oh, snap. Dude, I bet this was so good. Man, I'm about to go travel to these tournaments. Do I plan on playing any matches today? I actually don't. I have a lot of different plans. Watch this. Watch the Sajam video, because I just saw it when I pulled up YouTube. Hugo, the Hugo asked me anything. I gotta pull up the comments on that, and then anybody on Twitch or even YouTube just ask me anything during that, and then I'll see what I can come up with. That'll probably be the last video in the Masterclass Hugo series. And then we'll watch the first to 10, and then I'm gonna go hang out with some friends out of town, my arcade friends. It's a lot of fun. If you're playing on Fightcade, there are plenty of lower level people to try against to get games in. Yeah. Surprisingly, Evo boosted the numbers of Third Strike, I think. But Third Strike was already doing great on Fightcade. Ain't it crazy that game is still around? Game's like, what, it came out in 1999? I believe. So this looks like it was a bracket reset, judging by how serious they look. Oh, you know, GK mentioned, I think it was on Twitter, he made some tweaks to his board. So maybe there were some input issues, which is unfortunate. Oh. Probably the best reason to parry Dudley, to parry Necro's electricity, probably you're parrying it for the meter, because it's hard you're going to get a follow-up after that. Kind of want to see how he recovers and how you can really punish that. Because maybe Dudley can probably do heavy punch after he's done parrying it. Ooh, he parried too early. Cwall might have caught the parry window expiring. Because it looked like Sneak did a forward parry, which is 10 frames. So he might have hit him after that 10 frames of the parry. Oh boy. It feels like Necro's throw whip is faster. I don't think it is. Which version of 3S is being played at EVO? And yeah, it's on Super Guns. I am curious though if they're gonna convert to cabs at some point. That'd be nice. Isn't there a Southeast event tonight as well? I don't know. It'd be cool if all that was centralized. All the different like local tournaments and online tournaments. I know Fightcade is doing something on their main page for that. It's pretty cool. And even though I'm not looking for it, I don't run into it. Oh, had to hit him with a taunt, huh? When I'm scrolling through Twitter, I don't just see like, oh, this tournament's happening. It's hard to, I mean, it's hard. This is like an underground. Oh, that was it? I guess Cwall took it. Dang, with the taunt. Let me look at this last round in depth. And like I mentioned earlier, I assume it's very difficult for Dudley to get in on Necro. I would look into how to parry this down medium kick and what you can do to punish it. It's probably going to be down parry and then ducking super or ducking and then special. I'm not sure which one's better between the punch and kick option. But I would look into parrying that down medium kick. I actually got to jump into overhead blocked. Dang, yeah, that was a mistake. After they block this overhead, it's not really your turn. But a backswing blow might have been good. Like kick backswing. Heavy punch. Screen tearing. Oh, you gotta parry those. Necro has some moves that just seem like they're useless. There's got to be a true purpose for them. But like when this connects like this, that should be a parry into heavy kick machine gun blow. And typically in this scenario, you just got to assume your opponent's going to do something evasive. So the overhead's not going to, it's very, very unlikely it's going to work. So I don't know, maybe you should have jumped again. But that absolutely should have been parried. I guess maybe this move, you can change it with the timings and make it difficult to parry. I don't know, this move is really weird. Maybe it's good for going over lows and hitting stuff. I think it's plus on block too. I forget. But I'm going to go ahead and see what Dudley can do about down medium kick. For sure, when Necro does like heavy punch, you might even be able to heavy kick it. But for sure, you can do EX machine gun blow. I'm like 100% sure that works. Ugh, let me on the lab here. So Necro does down medium kick. I have him blocking. I also have stun, which I don't need. Ooh. Oh, that sucks. Ooh, that's not good. Oh, there you go. Why is the stun not... Oh, that's good. The heavy punch version works, so that means EX machine gun blow is very likely to work. There you go. So you can punish this always, whether you have meter or not. Though you may want to do the medium punch version, because you might do the heavy punch version too late. Is that still punishing? Wait a minute. Let me run that back. Because I programmed it to block, but it might not be doing that. There it is. Yeah, this is good. Can you do more off of Necro? I think that's good. You probably could get more than that. Plus 19. What? And, oh, that resets. Well, they both reset. Plus 20? Anyways, yeah, I would definitely do that. And probably the same is true for heavy punch. But I'm curious if you can actually hit heavy kick and it punishes it. Wow. What is Dudley after machine gun blow anyways? On hit? Plus 1? I think you go for the knockdown. Ah! Let's try a heavy kick before I get too distracted. Yeah, those are good. Doesn't super link after medium machine gun blow? I don't know. 1? No, it might have to hit in a weird way. Plus 1. Minus 1. Might be character specific, but it seems like if they're crouching, it's still plus 1. Yeah, it might be a character specific thing. Not sure. Have we tried Dudley Crystal Cube trials? I did all of them. I finished all the trials. But some of the videos weren't that interesting. And they were really, really hard to edit. They were like hour. Some of the trials took me like an hour and a half to do. So it was a lot of footage to get through, and it wasn't really that interesting. Hey, I set up training mode thanks to your vid. Do you have to clear 2P inputs each time you start it up? I don't think so. You should be able to save it. There's a save preset on there. I've seen it before. Some guy on Fight Kit hit me with it when I was playing Ryu. It might be a 1-frame link. What was that? 4 hits, and this is 5 hits. I don't know. Maybe it works on Ryu. Not that one. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because I actually have a plan today for the stream. Psh, unheard of. It's still plus 1 against them. I don't know. Maybe there's something special to it. You sure it was corkscrew blow? I don't know. Okay. Up next. Let me go ahead and mark the stream so I know where that portion ends. 20 minutes. Cool. Marker. Look at me all organized. Actually doing the thing I should have done many years ago. Streaming to make a YouTube. Okay, now we're going to watch the Sagen video. I didn't put that in the plan, but I just happened to see it. I think it just got uploaded. But it's talking about older games, so, you know, I gotta see what that's all about. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? There it is. So this is what makes old fighting games so different. I am already I'm already pulled in. This phrasing lets me know he's going to be fair. Different. Not better, not worse, not whatever. I like Say Jam.
A lot of like old games good and new games stinky is like the starting point, and then it just ends up with everybody squabbling. People saying, "No, actually, I think they're good," or "No, actually, I think they suck," and then that's the whole argument. They're too busy being like, "Here's why your game sucks." They never spend enough time talking about why old games are fun and why people like them.
Yes.
So one of the most fun things about old games is that everything in them is hard to do. Now that sounds a little contradictory. Input readers for the games, the execution for the games,
Yeah.
doing basic actions because of the lack of buffer or how strict the game is about what it's demanding from you, either in terms of notation or like how the inputs are determined in the game, is so brutal that moving around the screen, air dashing, wave dashing, moving and grooving in them is hard to do. And that makes it so that once you learn to move around the screen in a way that's like fluid and solid, you feel so cool. And
Yeah. There's a dopamine hit frequently. Whether it is, you don't hear the video. What? How? Let me try it again. I might have to run it back. How do you not hear it? What about now? Is it too low?
Simple thing.
It should be going through.
From not being able to do anything to making it to the fact that you can like do complex actions.
How about now?
Just happening all the time is really fun. It's a really cool part about old games.
Better?
The first time I ever did like
More?
Gunflame, FRC, IED, like Jump S, Sidewinder, you're just like, wait, I'm a fucking beast. And then you just do it without thinking. And they just constantly have these execution
like
tests
that
your
help?
brain just has to send to your hands, and your hands has to not fumble for you to do simple actions all the time. You may be thinking like, well,
is he louder than
doing
me?
basic things is
Looks
hard.
like it's
That
about the
doesn't sound
same.
fun, but it is fun because it gives you something to chew on.
Sounds good. All right, we're gonna start from the top.
Anyway, should we talk about old games today? A lot of like old
Was that a
games
no?
today.
No.
A lot of like old
Why
games
is
good
editor
and
put
new
no?
games stinky is like the starting point, and then it just ends up with everybody squabbling. People saying, "No, actually, I think they're good," or "No, actually, I think they suck," and then that's the whole argument. They're too busy being like, "Here's why your game sucks." They never spend enough time talking about why old games are fun and why people like them. So
I'm on the same page. I totally agree with that. And that's what I try to convey is the cool things about Third Strike. But even I am also guilty of this in some ways. I don't say like you should play Third Strike because it's better, but I still feel like I wish people would just try it and play it and get, put some time into it and then see how it is, because I feel that most of the time people don't know what they're talking about with Third Strike. But that's really besides the point. It's really besides the point. I like his angle much better.
one of the most fun things about old games is that everything in them is hard to do. Now that sounds a little contradictory. Input readers for the games, the execution for the games, and doing basic actions because of the lack of buffer or how strict the game is about what it's demanding from you, either in terms of notation or like how the inputs are determined in the game, is so brutal that moving around the screen, air dashing, wave dashing, moving and grooving in them is hard to do. And that makes it so that once you learn to move around the screen in a way that's like fluid and solid, you feel so cool. And
So what this reminds me of are those bullet hell games like Ikaruga, where you have to switch the color of your ship to match the many bullets so you can narrowly navigate through different obstacles. That's what I feel like Third Strike does. When you're at a certain spacing, you might want to parry low or forward while you're trying to whiff punish, and you're looking for the anti-air, and you're looking for a dash and throw. So it's like you're tap dancing around laser beams constantly. And then when you combine that with the execution difficulty, it's just a big dopamine, like the dopamine hits per minute are far more frequent. And that's what I think makes them a lot of fun, because there's so much room for human error, which I think is great. It's okay to make mistakes. It's not a big deal. I don't mind it.
Because there's naturally a barrier to do simple things. Learning to get from not being able to do anything to making it to the fact that you can like do complex actions just happening all the time is really fun. It's a really cool part about old games. The first time I ever did like Gunflame, FRC IED, like jump S sidewinder, you're just like, wait, I'm a fucking beast. And then you just do it without thinking. And they just constantly have these execution tests that your brain just has to send to your hands, and your hands has to not fumble for you to do simple actions all the time.
That's a key, is you feel like you are the one doing the work and not that the game is doing the work for you. And I don't like saying that, because now I'm entering back into that territory where it feels like I'm dumping on the new games. But that's how I feel. That's the truth. I think that's exactly what it is.
Maybe thinking like, well, doing basic things is hard. That doesn't sound fun, but it is fun because it gives you something to chew on and learn for forever, because you can always improve without a second thought. You become like a new human. Like watching yourself play when you just everything clicks and you're moving feels so good. The other thing about old games, there's almost an infinite amount for you to dig into your own character and learn unique things about them, because the games are built in like an archaic way that there are almost always character specific combos and interactions. Basically every game has like, oh, this is my character's B and B, except it works on 2 characters. It drops on this and you can do like 5 sidewinders off that, and then the ender of my combo doesn't work here, but like this character, when they're crouching, you get this. And like there's so many things in the game that just don't work. So you have to find different solutions for every character, which means that you can find different ways to pressure, different ways for offense, different ways to approach in neutral, different ways to combo, 15 or 20 characters to dig into and find unique interactions and solutions over and over and over and over. In old games, it's like you need a character per combo oftentimes. Even if in the beginning you don't need it, eventually you can optimize and then have specific
Street Fighter 4 is an old game.
Right? Because these games, the old games especially, have less information about them, less completed bodies of work about where to find things. I would go to look things up. Like, what is the soul combo on this character? And there would just not be information about like what the correct combo is.
That's tight. Isn't that sick? You can be the pioneer. You can figure it out. Like, I feel like there's so much fun work to do. Like, Third Strike is more than 20 years old, almost 1999. Yeah. It's an old game, but I'm learning things to this day. I just posted a video about Alex being able to hit confirm off of EX elbow slash into level 2. I never knew that. Maybe I did at some point 15 years ago when I forgot about it. But there's somebody in the comments section like, oh, this isn't common knowledge. So even the things that are figured out, it's really hard to know everything of what's possible. And I think that's awesome. That is what creates more unique situations. It's harder to get to that, what would be the end game. And because of that, and because of human error, it's hard to even get to it. And it makes it all like combined, and it's really fun.
I would have to like try to dig through and find match footage and like see what their combo is and then see why that combo is that way. But
having tech named after you doesn't happen anymore. Good. That was kind of corny. But the thought process is pretty cool. Like, this person discovered. I've never been a fan of saying I discovered something, but I think it's still cool.
But like, there wasn't that much match footage. I've never seen anybody else get this confirmed. Let me invent the combo myself. And sometimes it's cool and sometimes it's frustrating. It's like, dude, my combos just don't work on this character and there's nothing good to do in replacement. I can make a best case scenario, but my best case scenario still kind of sucks, and that can be frustrating, but it's part of the discovery of weird games like that. You may learn like a lightweight combo, and let's say there's like 5 lightweight characters in the game. Oh, this lightweight combo you worked, it actually only works on 2 of the 5 lightweight characters. The other 3, one combo works on one of them, and then the other 2, no one's ever tested what works on them because no one plays those characters, so good luck, go find it out yourself. And so much of old games is like that, where a lot of like what is out there is just what you personally know to do in your hands and brain against characters and in situations and matchups and stuff. So it makes them so personal. Let's say you're playing Street Fighter 6 and you're like, dude, I don't know how to be Blanca Ball.
Before he talks about Street Fighter 6, this same scenario. Again, Third Strike, 20 years old. Me and Alex Valle have a combined age of like 80 something. But I played as 12. I just uploaded that video. And I didn't know how to deal with 12 when he does a jump heavy punch, an air dash heavy punch from a distance, and I parry it. So I went into training mode and found out I can do EX Lariat no matter what the distance is. So next time I play him, I'm getting in there. He does that again. I'm like, I'm looking forward to that. And that solution wasn't just handed to me. I had to go and figure it out and recreate it.
What do I do? You type into YouTube, how do I beat Blanca Ball? And it's like, what's up, guys? It's your boy Diaphone here. We're going to go over how to beat the 5 most annoying moves in Street Fighter 6. Make sure you like and subscribe. So let's talk about Blanca Ball. In the old game, when you're like, sole bad guy, how to combo Biken when I hit her with 5k anti-air and I super jump and I don't have bar to do force break sidewinder. Type that into YouTube and then see what happens. Even just dealing with basic things like how do you structure offense against Biken, because it's like its own challenge to figure out how to.
So if Hugo video was sick,
do
thanks.
pressure against her in the game. Modern games, everything has a solution. Like everybody everywhere will tell you how to beat or stop or handle every scenario. Whereas old games, even though people are trying, they're trying to like archive and show you how to do stuff and yada yada yada, etc. There's just like way less documented stuff out there, and it's like difficult to do because there's so many things to document. You can spend your own time and energy learning and engaging with the game and the system and like finding your own solution. And for a lot of people, that is really fun, and you can spend a lifetime doing it.
And I think for a lot of people, it's not so fun. That's where the modern video game argument can also come into play, where it's the dad who comes home who has 2 hours to play Diablo and he wants to raid. So having all this field to excavate, it's not really, you might get a few pebbles turned over if you're that person. So I don't know which one is the right choice, but I'm going to err on the side of Sajam that this game is just good. It's really fun. This whole process is really fun. And I wish it were fun to go home for 2 hours every day and turn over 3 pebbles. They'd be like, wow. I mean, maybe it is.
Finding unique and interesting and fun things that only you know how to do and only you know how to stop from other characters and stuff. You come up with some sneaky thing to do, and then your opponent goes for the common response, and then you have a sick counterplay ready, and you're just like, I invented this. And then you do it, and you're like, damn, I'm good.
Yeah, that is, again, here we go. Something that is harder to find in Street Fighter 6, where you go to somebody's character usage, and you know that they have a signature, what they do, and how they solve problems. It's more of a blanket, this is how the character works, and not really as much as what they've discovered to the character. What I notice when I look through Street Fighter 6, I don't really look for matches. Even when I'm like looking for matchup analysis, it's hard to find matchups that are like where I think I'll see something new. It's pretty much limited to like Jamie, maybe Aki. Most of the other characters I don't even have interest in watching because I know I'm not going to see anything different.
Inventing option selects in
Old
Injustice to like beat some character's option on Wake Up was so sick. It's just really cool because you know that it's yours. A thing about old games though that is also true is that they are hard to do this stuff in. And because of that, oftentimes learning something simple and good will carry you really far. In old games, everything you do is so strong because it's very unlikely that the other person ever knows how to deal with it, right? Like there's no good way for them to test how to stop it. There's no good resources about how to defeat it. Have you ever played a game, someone new is like, oh, I just picked up this old game. You haven't played it in like 5 years, but then they've been playing it for a while, and you just boot up and play them and you beat them with like some level 1 strategy. And like they literally just don't know how to stop it, so they could never beat you. Unless you like spend time learning these specific gimmicks, you can't even make it to level 2.
Typically that's fundamental, like strong fundamentals. Unless it's something like, if we're talking third strike, like an unblockable or an unblockable. Maybe like 100% stun from a Kodo or a Denshin Ryu. A lot of those things come down to fundamentals and just good decision making, which is really hard to teach. It's actually really hard to teach that to somebody. It's one thing you have to kind of figure out on your own. You can guide somebody and show them why you do one thing or another, but at the end of the day, you can't make decisions for somebody. But you can explain to somebody why you might make one decision or another, if it's a guess, or why you may focus on avoiding those situations where you got to guess. But a lot of times this happens, it's a fundamental thing. Like if you're playing my old friend, my old 50-year-old friend, if you're playing him in Super Turbo and you can't beat him, it's probably because you're jumping at the wrong times. And then he recognizes when you get scared of jumping, and then he throws a fireball. It's like really Ryu Street Fighter 2 Turbo 101. How to get your opponent to stop jumping. You uppercut them. Okay, they stop jumping. Fireball. Maybe forward heavy punch. Get closer to them. So it's like the process of stripping away their options mentally that gets lost in a lot of the newer fighting games. It's absolutely still there, but it's harder to like force your will.
You can't even fight against me. Learning gimmicks or like sharply pointed options for your character will take you so far. Whereas in modern games, like something I mentioned, like the Blanca ball, that will be solved so fast. Like people will come up with ways to deal with this. And in old games, generally the solutions are very specific for things. Whereas in new games, like almost always moves are designed with like
tech.
this move
We don't know
has
about tech.
this strength and this weakness. And this is the natural counter to this move. We're not going to design something that's stupid and impossible to beat or something. We're going to design something that makes sense. And then in the old game, someone pulls out Zappa's sword, and then you're just like, surely this must have lots of counterplay and interactive design. It's a video game. There must be a way for me, the opponent, to deal with Zappa's sword. They were like, and then you just lose. Then you get to a game like Super Turbo, where like I asked James Chen, how does this matchup work? And he goes, oh yeah, the matchup's just like 8-2. This character hits this button, and they just win. The other character can't do anything about it.
Super Turbo is that game where people bring it up, and I'm like, I can't. This is... I openly say Super Turbo sucks, but it's a beautiful, awesome, wonderful game that is enjoyable for a lot of people. But it's busted. It's not fair. It's not a fundamentally sound. It kind of was. I think it used to be, but the way it's developed over the couple years, it's insane. It's insane, that game. The way you got to play that game is ridiculous. I was playing my friend at the arcade a few days ago, and he knows a thing or two. He knows the cheap stuff. And some of the situations, I'm just like, I guess I just guess an uppercut. I guess I just jump at him. Like, I have to play the mental part more than the reactionary part. Only time I felt like I was reacting if I was actually uppercutting a jump. The rest of it felt just unclear. I was like, oh my gosh, I totally... Proximity guard in Super Turbo is ridiculous. Like, you're so far away from them, and you can whiff buttons and they can't walk away. I was like, what is this? It's just... But you also got to remember that game is ancient. That was like the first one, and they weren't making it for like a competitive whatever. I think what they accomplished is awesome. Like the beginning of, and maybe it's not intentional, but the beginning of influencing how your opponent thinks, and then they have to make the adjustment to what they've done, like that whole mental battle. And there's two things, two storylines happening invisibly on the screen. It started with that. Eventually, maybe not so much. But it's still a cool game. But Super Turbo, hard to defend that one.
And I'm like, how do you beat it? And you're like, well, sometimes you do this and it works. But if you do this, they can do that to stop it. It's just you got to hope that they don't. And I'm like, okay. It's much harder.
Super Turbo's a miracle?
Games.
Yeah.
Not only are you throwing a weird knowledge check at them, but like navigating the game and doing basic things is harder. In Street Fighter 4, for example, when Balrog did dash punch and he was punishable by jabs, in a modern game, you would just hit jab and a DP, and you would always punish it, right? But punishing Balrog dash punch in the old game was a one-frame link on block with no buffer. So you could just, like, do moves or things that were unsafe. Your opponent was very unlikely to punish it. Great example of something like this. Filipino man plays Rose, right? And Rose is a very uncommon character, and people don't know the matchup. Her EX drill was, like, -6 or something. I watched him at EVO do point-blank EX drill -6 into Yosan Jury's face. Yosan missed the punish by so many frames that Filipino man crouch teched defensively on -6, and his button hit Yosan first. Part of what makes older games like that more difficult.
I want to see that real quick.
Easier to be effective in. It's harder to do simple things.
What monitor was this? If this was Evo, they're probably using the Aces, which is 60 hertz and console. I think one thing that is not discussed enough is about how little we knew about hardware in those days and how much of an impact it has, and how I mean, we all pretty much played on PlayStation and 60 hertz monitors, but what if we had something that was better, like high refresh rate, and a platform that could play it better? So I'm also curious about, what's the truth about laggy monitors that we used to play on? Because the technology wasn't there. Oh yeah, and CRTs. Street Fighter 4 was played on CRTs often.
Crouch text defensively on -6, and his button hit Yosan first. Part of what makes older games like that more.
So when you combine hardware that is variable, has variables to it, whether it's a CRT, a monitor, or a monitor that's laggy, And you have the execution barrier of Street Fighter 4. That also makes it really frustrating because you don't know what you're getting into. A one frame link with lag that might be 4, 5, 3, whatever it is. It's going to be hard to know exactly what that is. Like, you can't.
Difficult is also what makes them easier to be effective in. It's harder to do simple things, which means you get away with more, which means you can like do sillier things and you just don't get punished for it. Throwing stuff against the wall will work in them in some ways. Now, I'm not saying all the time, but it's what makes them a little loosey-goosey, you know, and that's what kind of makes them interesting. Purify wrote a old game versus new game.
Hey, that's my friend. He wins everything. Not everything, but I don't know how he does it, who he practices against, but he wins. Like, if he goes to Frosty, he does really well in every single game he enters in, as far as I'm aware. And he won, I think, Koihime Embu one year. He's super good.
And
he's a friend of mine.
I've
known him for like 20 years.
Like, old games in some way are just like easier than new games because you can just like learn some things and then beat everybody up in it. And I think there's some truth to what they're saying in there. Like, the difficulty in learning plus R here, they wrote, on the other hand, Omito, Johnny, and Exer just in general didn't make many mistakes. He just did the good optimal thing pretty much all the time, and it was suffocating to witness. This is because, yeah, Exert is a comparatively difficult game in the grand scheme of things, and Johnny's a hard character, is for sure. But it's a ceiling that's more attainable because the game is the right amount of easier than the game before it, than plus R. That, however, makes it very, very hard to fight against in compared to plus R, where, again, pretty much everyone, even at their best, can be off guard at any moment due to its difficulty and speed of decision.
I think that's fair. The argument that something that is difficult to execute, if it's really if it's really powerful, then it makes it fair. I'm not so sure how I feel about that. Though I think there is some validity to it. But like Young and Agent, more and more people are able to do Daipon loops, Kara Palm, or even just the basic and Agent combos. Does that make it okay? Does that make it better? No, I don't think so.
I think about this because I was watching the tournament where KB Nova was playing plus R. You know, everybody's like, oh, KB Nova Zappa is like so good. He beats everybody. He's the best. And then that Soul player, I don't remember who the Soul player was.
Is Strive in a good place these days? I don't know. Strive, yeah, it's doing all right. Yeah.
In neutral, just kept doing Grand Viper or like Riot Stamp or like whatever over and over and over and over. KB Nova literally just like couldn't stop this Soul player from going fucking feral. KB Nova just dies to the Soul player who then just like loses to everybody else. Yeah, like the Soul player was good, but like also if some Soul player pulls up and does that to Omito and Exerd, like he's dead. And I thought this post was really interesting. Honestly, this post is like a really fun way to think about it. Newer games are like everybody can reach a certain level easier, but also when you truly optimize at the top end, those players are like dominant. It's really hard to optimize old games and play them perfectly.
Yeah. The framing feels like you can make a fair sentence about anything. Like I said earlier, you can argue that Street Fighter 6 is more difficult for whatever reason. And you can argue that Third Strike, CVS 2, 4, 5, you could argue those games are harder than all the other games for a different reason. It's hard to get to the real truth. So again, I agree with Seijun's perspective that the most productive thing to do is just to emphasize how cool your game is and not really try to compare one or the other because it just makes it more divisive.
You tend to have more room to like explore weird, strange interactions because people are like flubbing things constantly, and then new weird scrambles are happening, and then you have to make the best of those, and then you flub those, and then it gets weird, with rare exceptions of moments of brilliance. That's what makes them unique and different from modern games, where there's a lot less of that slippery nature. There's a lot more room to optimize and be correct more often and make less mistakes. Like, if you can do everything in the game all the time always and never make any mistakes, then the game is probably not designed in a way that's compelling for competitive gamers to have fun in, you know. That's one of the challenges in modern games, is like finding ways for
Man, these are such hard sentences. Because it's like, yeah, but no, but yeah, I agree, but somebody else wouldn't.
People to be incorrect. When you're designing modern games, you have to decide where the difficulty in optimizing them will come from. Most games have decided that difficulty is not in execution, it's not in motion inputs, it's not in punishes. They give you buffers or leniency decision-making windows to make things happen more consistently. So they have to test you in other ways. The biggest and easiest way for fighting games to make more challenging, interesting games is to make them faster. The faster a game goes, the more decisions you have to make, the more likely it is that you flub basic decision-making constantly, right? If you
Faster decision making. It depends on what those decisions are. I think I agree with what he's saying. Like the speed at which you have to think about what could or could not occur. That I agree with. But as far as the game speed, not so much. I don't know if I
look
agree
at my
with that.
preferences over the years. I think a lot of people know that I'm a Street Fighter commentator. I've done a lot of Street Fighter in my life. But Street Fighter is very slow for my taste, right? Like a lot of the other games I like are way, way faster. I like versus games a lot. Guilty Gear, obviously.
What up,
KI
Rossi?
is a very fast game. KI is like the drug addict version of Street Fighter, basically. The game is so fast to play and it's so draining to play because you don't have almost any downtime in it. It's naturally just a really explosive game. But that game was built around the time where games were starting to like try and be like, okay, how do we make this a little simpler for people to get involved? So I think if you're making a modern game that is the speed of a game like Street Fighter and it has the modern fillings, then afterwards you have to then figure out how do we add complexity to the game if we don't want to make the speed of the game outrageously fast, which is why things like
exactly.
the Yone grid system or like
Yeah.
drive gauge system is what makes for more compelling games because it gives you room to be wrong, to make your decision making kind of have to be snappy and different and unique in moment to moment decisions.
True.
Without it just coming purely from execution tests.
And what is unfortunate is when those resources that are interesting are overshadowed by, a pretty simple game plan. I mean, I kind of hate to be Jibble Thomas here, but I said it many times during the Street Fighter 6 beta. As cool as this drive gauge management, super management, health management, and footsies are in the game and all that stuff, as cool as that is, there might be a person or two who really masters overspending their drive gauge and just pretty much going ham and overwhelming their opponent with offense. And you see a very popular player doing that right now. And it's not, it's actually pretty common, but to the extent that Noah the Prodigy does it, he's the master at going into burnout and then getting 12 bars of drive gauge. And that does in some ways overshadow the interesting parts of Street Fighter 6. So in terms of like the speed of the game is not the speed of decision making, I think. That is what is interesting. The decision making pace and the resource management weaved into that is what makes it really cool. Yeah, that's what I like. Sachem can convince me I'm good and I'll believe him. Can you argue difficulty in execution and speed of recognition though? I'm not sure what that means. The difficulty in execution is like combos, and is that the way you get that combo and the amount that combo is rewarding, that's different from the speed of recognition, which I think is both offense and defense. So things like hit confirming, blocking overheads on defense, your spacing habits and recognizing your opponents. I think those are definitely different. Difficulty in execution and speed of recognition. And maybe I'm not sure what you mean. I bet on the Hugo 12 span. I didn't know you already had an answer. Which one? I missed it. Maybe it was on the comments. Faster game means less decisions. Speed of decision means harder decisions. It depends. Depends on how fast you die too. There's so many factors that go into it. It's hard to really nail it down. What's good. I remember asking the Punch Planet players, how do you decide? Because the Punch Planet developers asked them, like, how do you decide whether something is fair, whether it's good, where the hurt box should be, how much hits, like all this. How do you put this together? And basically their answer was, I don't know, man, you just try it and see how it feels. And it's probably the best way. Like, what do you measure as the reactionary window? Like, no, man, just try it and see what happens.
Or like the control of the game being nebulous. Adding an additional meter, like another lever to pull when you're backing up the bus and then going this way, and then you got to pull this lever here, and then you're doing this, and then you're juggling. Like the more things you can add on top of what you have to do, the wider the decision-making space becomes, the more difficult doing basic things becomes. Like the more likely it is you flub things and you create a more interesting game with lots of decisions.
Human error is sick. It's really cool to see mistakes, and it's cool to see when somebody doesn't, when they thread 3 needles in a row. I think they're all cool. It's all cool.
When people do manage all those things well.
Oh, but the problem I think on the development side is when you put too many elements, variables to the game. It's hard to account and balance that. And you might end up getting something like, even in the old games, CVS2 roll canceling. That's definitely not intended, but it happened to be cool. But it's kind of like luck. Like, oh, this happens to be kind of fun. Not much we can do about it. If we're going to play this game, we're going to have to deal with it. So, I mean, whether that's your cup of tea or not is up to...
It's fun to watch. And
up to whatever.
Impressive. And it makes for a cooler game. This whole talk was not to discourage anybody from liking either, because I like both styles of games. When games are, like, so hard that doing the hardest stuff is, like, very, very difficult for most humans to do all the time, then you can make a game that's fun and interesting to optimize long term. And, like, when I say optimize, I don't even think most people probably do. They just, like, try to be as optimal as they can.
Yeah.
Like, I really like the mind games of fighting games, but, like, I didn't want to learn how to do a motion input. I'm like, dude, you'll play Helldivers and you'll resupply, which is a fucked up tiger knee motion backwards.
Down, upright.
Magnetic blast in Marvel 3, but you're telling me you can't fucking throw a fireball in a fighting game? You can do motion inputs under extreme duress when there's 7 Bile Titans, but when you're sitting there doing those, like, quarter circle punch.
That's me.
Fireball with Ryu, it's too hard. You guys are gonna look me in the eyes and tell me that shit is too difficult? Bet. Just say you don't want to do it. Just say that you don't like how Ryu looks. I'd rather fight me.
Yeah, y'all know Sajam. I don't. What does my plug do for a giant? Sajam on YouTube, on Twitch. I'll link the video in the Twitch chat. That's a great video. Sajam, I see like 99% of the time, I'm like, yeah, he's right. Yep. What do I have to add? Yeah, that's pretty much it. What else is there to really say except for I like the emphasis that just demonstrating or not, don't even demonstrate, just be the example and play that game whether you stream or not. Just enjoy. There's such a weird dialogue, especially when new games come out, to go complain about it on Twitter, which is understandable. Yeah, that's why I've been liking Third Strike a lot lately, because all that's said and done, I do wish in some ways that Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 5 could experience what Third Strike is experiencing right now, where nobody's playing that game against their will. That could be said for some of the recent history, where people are playing a game that they don't like for whatever reason. And that's not to say that there aren't redeeming and fun qualities about those games that kind of keep you in it. Like, for me, Street Fighter 6, it has enough fun and cool things that I'll probably boot it up again, especially when they drop a patch, Season 2. But I think focusing on what is fun is really what it's all about. Yeah. Sajam could make me believe delay-based netcode is better than rollback if you wanted. He can make one of those videos where he's like looking at the camera like one of these, and it says, I was wrong about rollback. Oh, let me click on that. I hate that. Man, I'm trying to take the YouTube game more seriously lately. I might have to end up doing one of those videos, but in a mocking way. Really sad face. It's time to have a serious talk. The future of this channel. One of those. Be a good April Fool's joke. What else do I have planned for today? This was not planned. I just saw the video and I thought it'd be a good topic. Also, let me go ahead and do a little marker. Boom. What else? Oh. Y'all ready to do this Hugo Ask Me Anything? I'm down. There's a couple comments on the YouTube. I made a post, like a YouTube post, and people ask questions. So I'm going to answer those first. If you have anything about Hugo you want me to answer, then I'll get to those after the YouTube comments. So, okay. Let me go ahead and pull those up. Let me just level the sound real quick. Is that good? Music volume good? Not too loud? Latest post. Community tab. Cool. All right. Found it. Where is it? I wanted to thank you because you inspired me to play Jamie before the buffs. He's fun to play. He's really fun to play because you have all those things to manage. And he's really hard. There's a lot to learn and put together, and it feels good when it does. It also feels kind of bad when it doesn't. When did that kind of thumbnail become a thing? I don't know. What I learned about YouTube is that you just copy other people's work. You just try to steal the algorithm. Like, oh, that's working. Let me get some of that. It's crazy. Let's start from the first. What's an easy way to do 360 on pad? Check my text for some potential AMAs. LMAO. Oh boy, is that what that was? I'll get to these after. Hey! I think you hit heavy kick once or twice. Oh, like jump heavy kick. Hold on, let me get to that later. Stay on target. What's an easy way to do 360 on pad? Somebody said jump, then input 360. This guy's from the early 2000s. Yeah, just jump in and do a 360. Hey, what up, Snake Jam? I liked your video. I watched it. I've been watching Asmongold. He is farming. He's really good at this whole thing. And I noticed that he watches a lot of people's stuff. So I watched your stuff, and I liked it. It was really good. Especially, maybe you're already here, but I like that you're not really focused on this game is better because. Like, why not just say that this is cool because? I'll try to do more of that. Anyways, what's an easy way to do 360 input on pad? So the 360 input in this game, at least for Hugo, I think he's the only 360 input. You actually don't need the diagonals. You just need the cardinal directions, which is left, right, down, up. No diagonals. You can use the diagonals, right? But it's actually not necessary, and you can order them in a way that as long as you end in up, you get the 360. If you do right, left, down, up, that gives you a 360. Left, right, down, up. Oh my goodness. I'm actually doing it too quick. I hit the punch button too quick. So that's pretty much it. There's not really a whole lot more to it, whether you're on pad, hitbox. It's really about understanding the inputs that are involved. The other mechanic of this is understanding that your character, whenever they jump, they're still on the ground technically. Their throw box actually is airborne, this little green box down here. But your character actually takes a while to leave the ground. Every character in Street Fighter 3 and a lot of fighting games. If we go to the miscellaneous, you can see jump data. And we got 6 and 8. This is basically if it's a regular jump or a super jump. So when you do a regular jump, you're still on the ground for 6 frames. If you do a super jump, 8 frames. So during that jump startup, it's going to be after you hit up or even diagonal. That's when you're actually inputting the punch button. So maybe it's thought that you're doing up and then a circle, like up, left, down, right, which is probably possible, but highly unnecessary. Oh, I don't even think I can do it. Maybe I can do a super jump first and do it. I can't even do that. Oh, I did it! That's possible, but if I put my hand camera on, you'd be like, wow, that's not, don't do that. There's no need for that. This is also how you explain how standing Gigas is possible, because you have those 8 frames during the super jump where you can actually get that. Oh my goodness. I'm rusty for the 5th day. Wow. I lost it. I'm kind of wiggly. Hello? There we go. I gotta find the points on my stick. You get the idea. So it shouldn't make a difference whether you're on pad, stick, hitbox. You end in up. You don't start with up. Next question. Why do you say GG's after stunning someone? Can you really get the kill at 60%, 70%? Health after stun. After a stun. 60, 70%? Well, I mean, just saying good games is for comedic purposes, but oftentimes, yeah. Like, depending on the hit you get with Hugo, if you have Hammer Frenzy, you got 2 Hammer Frenzy stocked up, they're gonna die. Like, a good example is if I hit Makoto with a jump cancel clap after command grab, look at their stun. Oh my goodness. I'm still doing it too late. Wow. There we go. If I'm successful with this mix-up, they're probably gonna die. Let me put their health back to not recover. No refill. There we go. If I hit them with the splash or I do another super jump cancel, it's probably gonna stun them. Oh my goodness. What is happening? Oh my god. Difficult thing to do. There we go. Let's say I do a splash, and that splash hits them, and then I stun them. Man, the stun is recovering too quickly. It should be normal. Sheesh. That's one hit. Super hits. I can taunt for more damage. It's more than enough. It's more than enough. I gotta practice this now. It's bothering me. I'm hitting the punch too early. I'm actually airborne, and then I go back to the ground because I'm hitting punch too soon. There we go. All right, next question. What role does clap play in neutral and offense? How can I use it to its greatest potential? Just saw your new video. Oops. Still gonna answer it. So I use clap as a meter build technique to clip normals into Hammer Frenzy. Sometimes it happens to anti-air. That's nice. But the other reason is to bait their whiff punish. If we look at the stats on each clap, you got 28 duration for the light punch, 28 for the medium, and 30 for the heavy. But the heavy has higher startup and less recovery than the rest of them. So what tends to happen is they'll see the heavy and then react too late, because the point that they're reacting, the recovery is less by the time they react and recognize which one it is. So what could end up happening is you do a clap from a long distance, and then they try to punish it with Ken's SA3. But they reacted just too late. Or maybe it's crouching medium kick or a sweep. And that's what tends to happen. So what that does is it causes hesitation in your opponent to not want to address the claps. And that gives me a little bit more freedom in neutral to walk and hit medium punch down medium cook. Medium cook? Medium cook. And that's what allows me to have a little more freedom in neutral. Just because I'm presenting this threat. And the underlying problem is, let's say Ken is doing medium kick. If I do this at a space, I can actually hit this. Let me get a little bit closer. And if I use heavy clap, it's going to give me a lot of time to hold the Hammer Frenzy input. So combined with heavy punch clap, combined with the crouching state, It gives me a lot of time. They're in more hit stun, and I'm using heavy clap, so I can walk up for a lot of time. Medium is also possible, but you have to release it at just the right moment. And even light punch should be possible, but a little more difficult. Yeah, that's pretty much it for claps. Yeah, really all there is to it. Got your car clap. That's it. Build meter. Give them an obstacle. Combo and a hammer frenzy. If it happens to hit them in the air, cool. This barely ever happens, but when it does, it's kind of nice. It's got to be like the right Kurt angle too. This might not even work with this jumping. I don't think it'll line up. Nah, not like this. Nope. I don't think so. But yep, that's pretty much it. I don't play Third Strike, but if I was going to, should I play Hugo or should I pick a good character? Hugo's pretty good. He's just really hard to play. Yeah. I have a video in mind about the opposite end of the spectrum. Because I just made a video about tips for new Third Strike players, but it's more like the well-tempered, you know, classical build a foundation, block, hit confirm, whiff punish. Those basic things. I'm going to make another video that's going to get more views. How to play Third Strike like a dickhead. But it's actually like high-level stuff that you do want to learn into your game plan eventually. Which is like you get hit, then you down parry. You just dash and throw in neutral. Buffer, crouch, medium kick into super, where it's not going to hit them, but if they run into it, it's going to hit them. Same with like Chun-Li's back heavy punch. Play a character with unblockables, or Makoto. And yeah, there's also two things that people just don't do, who do those things. They don't quick tech. They don't get up off the ground. Like, if I do 360 with Hugo, there's no reason to not quick tech. You see, this is +6. I can't do nothing. It's too far away. There's nothing I can do with +6. If you stay on the ground, I can actually... Wait, what? Why is he doing fast wake up? What the heck? Ken's stripping. What are they doing? Fast wake up? Never. What? This is a different example. Why is everyone doing fast wake up? Oh, it's set their crouch. Oh, thanks. +18, much better. That's a light punch clap. Knockdowns vary depending on the character. This might be around the same thing. +34, that's a big difference. +34 is a lot. So just, you can actually pressure after 360 if they don't quick stand. That's pretty much it. So yeah, anyways, off topic. Sean Masterclass next. I think there's a little more things with Sean I could review. He's got some weird stuff. You can actually wake up with his forward heavy kick and it beats throws. But it's unsafe, so it's just... He has a lot of broken gimmicks that... he sucks. But it's fun. Can you go into detail about knockdowns? You've mentioned it's all lies. I gotta be careful with my comedic stuff. It's all lies a few times, and I want to know. Also, I love Hugo's jab. Talk about Hugo's jab, and keep on keeping on. Knockdowns. You can get a baseline and know how most knockdowns are going to behave. Some characters have similar knockdowns. The Shotos, Akuma, Ryu, Sean, and Ken, they get up similarly, but it seems like Ken can get up 2 frames faster on some knockdowns. Against Hugo, at least, Remy actually seems to get up the quickest out of anybody. I mean, the long and short of it is, Every character gets up differently. Twins also share the same knock. Twins are the same, as far as I know. But other than that, you have to just go in and look at it. The good news is this is the kind of game where you can kind of play by the seat of your pants. You can fly by the steering wheel or whatever. You can just kind of feel it out and see if it works or not. There's no need to really frame kill all the time. You should learn those eventually, but it's not a necessity. But there's 2 knockdowns. You can quick get up, or you can stay on the ground. Most of the time you want to quick get up. I don't know when you wouldn't want to do that. So, I mean, there's some situations I can think of, but for the most part, when you quick get up, which is tapping down when you hit the ground, you actually you build meter while you do that too. So like the scenario with Hugo, the 360, I can't think of any reason why you would not want to quick tech. I think 100% of the time you quick tech. But that's pretty much it. Burning Young's an agent timer. There's some Hugo setups that I've never actually been able to pull off where if you don't stand up immediately, then there won't be an ambiguous cross-up. I think it was against Makoto. There's a knockdown with Lariat. I think it's Makoto. Maybe it was light kick knockdown. It's something like this. So that's behind, and I think if you do it early, hits in front. But if you stay on the ground, that's not going to be a threat. Which most people do, because they're like, what? Light kick lariat knockdown? What is that? So if they stay on the ground, they can avoid this, but she's still on the ground long enough where I can do a heavy clap. I looked at this a long time ago. Never really got to do it, though. Not yet. That's pretty much it. Combo I see with Hugo is ultra throw into palm bomber into backbreaker. It seems very hard to pull off. Do you have any advice? I wish I knew the root of why you do some variations and not the others. Most of the time you can do light punch clap into light kick backbreaker, and that tends to work on nearly everybody. You want to do the light punch clap really late, like almost before they land. If you do it too early, the backbreaker won't hit them in time. I wish I knew the exact explanation for this. You can also do medium punch clap into heavy kick backbreaker. This seems to be easier for some reason for me, but I'm not sure if it works on every character. This is one thing that's kind of on the back burner for me, is testing out what, like, every single character, can I do medium punch clap or light punch clap, or can I do it at all? And I believe you can do light punch clap in the EX Lariat in some scenarios, like mid-range. Need to have their health back to what it was. Refill quick. EX works there. Oh my goodness. It's got to be close, though. Oh my god. There we go. I think that's worth it. You get a good knockdown, you get more damage and stun out of it. It would just be the palm that's doing more damage, because you would compare that to... Oh my god. You would compare that to just doing a heavy kick lariat, which is 68. That don't matter too much. 27, 33 damage. It's hard to do. That's actually good. 1743. About 10 more damage, more stun, better knockdown. That's actually good. Might even be able to do medium clap. Maybe not. Yeah. Less gameplay and more personal a little bit, but why? But why male models? Why do you play Hugo? Do you like his win condition? Do you just think he looks cool, some combination of the previous two, or something entirely unrelated? I'd love to hear your answer. It's a lot of things. When I first started playing fighting games, I played Yang because he was cool, he was fast, whatever. Yeah. And he had Rekkas. Rekkas are like the Fei Long thing. And when I was really young, I loved Bruce Lee. So that's pretty much it. So I played Yang up until Street Fighter 4, pretty much. I played some Hugo here and there. But when Street Fighter 4 came out, pretty much didn't play much Third Strike, which is shameful. But then when I returned to Third Strike, I wanted to do something different. And back then, I was an aggressive player. I would just try to rush down. Hugo can't do that very well. So it was a way to build my defensive fundamentals. And I felt like he was a character that required mastery of the game. And I felt like it would improve me as a player to play him. And he was just really cool. I thought he was super sick. Like Tachi Gigas, I just wanted to do that. I realize now what a stupid thing it was to feel like I was a master of Third Strike. Or even like, for that reason is weird. Because I didn't know. Playing on PS2. For starting from there, playing on PlayStation. Third Strike on PlayStation was terrible. But I mean, that's pretty much it. He requires you to allow your opponent to set the pace of the match. It's really hard to impose your will as Hugo. You have to deal with their options first, and then you can kind of make it work. So that's it. He's cool. I noticed that it is significantly less consistent to do meat squasher versus moonsault press. It more often didn't came out for whatever reason. What is the secret input to meat squasher? How do you perform it? It should be the same thing. I don't know if there's a special rule for the buffer window. Let me see if you can do meat squasher with a diagonal. I doubt it. No, you still need up. I don't know. Maybe there's a different buffer window. I don't know. I can't tell the difference. But I do know what you're talking about. Sometimes it feels like 360 is easier. I don't think so. I think they're the same. Man, I need to figure out this stick situation. Which of his color palette is the best without saying his OG pink one? Nah, I like Wolfgang Amadeus Hugo. This is all me. I hit all the characters with a heavy punch and happen to land on that. That's how it goes. And I stand by that. How do you close distance with Hugo, and how do you set up your offense in neutral? Oh, wow. Also, how do you deal with Bullshido? Certain characters like Akuma, Air Fireball, Tatsu, Teleport, and Ibuki, good jump buttons, and a lot of safe buttons in neutral. So, how do you close the distance with Hugo? You don't. You walk. You just walk at him. I don't know how to briefly explain this, but you're playing bad footsies. As good as medium punch is, it's really slow and the recovery is awful. As good as down medium kick is, sort of the same issue. It's not that fast, the knockdown sucks, and the recovery is terrible. So you want these moves to contact your opponent. And because they're so low reward, your opponent has some incentive to just input parry sometimes in neutral. And they might catch one of these and actually start getting into, you know, their offense if they happen to parry one of these. So I go back to the original, like the previous two questions. You have to play at their pace and see what they're doing. Like, what is their method of approach? And you have to tailor your neutral with what they're doing first. That's why with Hugo, a lot, I'll use movement before I use my normals. And the Ken matchup is a perfect example. When Ken is at near heavy kick range, I might forward parry here. When I'm in medium kick range, crouching medium kick, I might down parry here. But while I'm doing that, I'm hitting medium punch and I'm hitting down medium kick. And I'm making sure, for the most part, that they contact. And then what I'm also doing is checking for him if he's going to jump. Because they're going to jump. They're going to do a late jump attack, or early jump attack, EX Tatsu. So while all these are happening, You're trying to walk forward as much as you can to get them, to walk backwards. So you can get them to the corner. And then they can't move backwards. That's pretty much all there is to it. Now you have them here. You can do lots of damage in the corner. That's pretty much it. There's some cool things you can do, like if he does a really badly spaced heavy kick, you can EX lariat that. I think that is really good. Most of the time you hit medium punch or down medium kick, but it's gonna suck. Unless you're piling on that stun from medium punch, it's really not that high reward. But if you hit a EX lariat for a poorly spaced heavy kick, you're in the money. Get in there. Yeah. And once again, that's another reason why I play Hammer Frenzy. Because even if I down parry Ken's down medium kick, there's some ranges where I can't even 720 it. I can't even do a regular 720. There we go. I believe there's some ranges where this won't even connect. Maybe it was sweep. Wow, what is going on? Like that. Hammer Frenzy will solve that. Yep. And the input's easier to do. Just starting to play Third Strike because of these videos. What are some things I should learn right away with Hugo to get started? Other than not picking Hugo. Second question, what do you think Hugo teaches you about 3S and that other characters don't? It goes back to the previous answer and how you have to play at your opponent's pace, which is a really good lesson to learn about fighting games because you can apply that with any character, and if it's a higher strength character, you become a really dangerous player once you understand that. How to manipulate your opponent's overwhelming amount of good things that they can do against you. So this makes me think of Robo Hugo. I was thinking about this the other day. Some people used to call it Chun players that just did back heavy punch, down medium kick, throw. They would call that Robo Chun. And just build meter with any button. Whatever. It's Robo Chun. Usually they end up not being that great, but they get carried by that simple strategy. Which is fine. If I were to describe a Robo Hugo, it would be parry and then 360 things. Like that. Parry on wake up and 360. 360 on wake up. Block on wake up. Maybe backbreaker on wake up. And then just hit medium punch and down medium kick a lot. That'd be it. To this day, like, I think Hayao is Robo Hugo for the most part. He plays it supremely well, but he don't really use lariat that much. I don't even see him use claps that much. But he's just excellent at this idea. Dang it! That was like 5. What are the best Hugo colors? It's Wolfgang Amadeus Hugo. It has to be. Does it trigger Hugo players that I actively refute the name Hugo and just call him Andor? Nope, don't care. I would love to see how you deal with Ibuki and Akuma. It actually was asked down here too. I kind of forgot. Akuma, the best advice I can give you quickly is to light punch. Well, I think Hammer Frenzy is much better. A lot of Akuma players will do Tatsu and then medium kick Tatsu. What you got to do is go into training mode and learn the timings for each one and how to recognize if it's a medium kick or a heavy kick Tatsu. So all you got to do is learn the timing for both of these. And as long as you're reasonably close, you can punish. If you're far away, you might have to do just light kick, which sucks. What is this on block? Navigating. I forget the advantage on this. You should be able to Hammer Frenzy this. Heavy kick version is -5 though, which I don't think is enough. Hammer Frenzy is 4. But I was looking at the hitboxes the other day, and I think it's actually 6 and not 4. It's really weird looking. So yeah, jab 360 to Tatsu. Air to air. Air to air him with jump light punch and jump medium punch. This matchup sucks. Online it's even worse. Like you have to be aware of so many things that can go wrong. And the more random they are, the harder it is to deal with. Jump Tatsu is annoying. You have to parry this twice. You got to parry it 3 or 4 times if you hit it in the air. And you just got to jump medium punch. I think you can hammer frenzy through the air fireball. Let me actually just try that. Why not? Let me do it really late. Oh, I don't have it. If it hits on the ground, like later, that's probably pretty good. I don't like it. So, like, meaty fireball on your wake up, probably not a whole lot you can do about it. You can parry it and then block so you get more meter, I guess. Just gotta hold that. I don't know. Alright, I think we're almost wrapped up. That's pretty much it. When should you use Hugo's SA1 compared to SA3? Is it a matchup dependent or just personal taste? I think it's both. It depends on your reasoning. What do you enjoy? Like, you tend to play a character like Hugo because it's fun and it's sick. And it's cool. So for that reason, pick SA1 all the time. Hayao does it. But I think SA3 is a stronger super than Gigas Breaker in a lot of matchups. I think you should use it against Yone. Well, let's just go with what you should use, where you might use 720. I think it's good against Yang over Hammer Frenzy, though Hammer Frenzy is still good. I think those two are pretty equally matched against Yang because he has a low health pool. Akuma also has a low health pool, but it's harder to get a 720 on him. At mid-level, you can probably do it against Urien because a lot of Urien players might not have the unblockable setups that deal with 720. So that could be helpful. But you can do the same thing with Hammer Frenzy. Makoto, just for the fact that Makoto players tend to be too offensive, 720 can halt their offense. But I think Hammer Frenzy is way better in this matchup. But 720 is still reasonable. You can pick it against Sean because he sucks. I would say don't pick 720 against Q. If Q gets 4, or if he gets 3 taunts, 720 is useless. It sucks. It sucks. There's no reason to do it. Ibuki, I think all 3 supers are pretty good. I think there's a case for Megaton Press, 720 because she has low health, and Hammer Frenzy, just because Hammer Frenzy is such high utility. If she does EX Uppercut, Megaton Press can punish it, and it does a pretty good amount of damage because she has low health again. I would say you need Hammer Frenzy against Elena. I think you really got to make it hurt when you hit her because she can run away so easily. I don't know. I think 12 might be another character where you don't pick 720. Either Hammer Frenzy, maybe Megaton Press. I haven't tried that yet. Surprisingly, Chun-Li feels like a matchup you could use 720. Though I think 720 is better, again. Ryu and Ken are kind of the same thing. As far as Hammer Frenzy is still better. Hammer Frenzy is way better against Denjin, I think. Because you can cover more space if they do it near the corner. So you can Hammer Frenzy. If they do it outside of your 720 range, you just got to hold that. But yeah, the more I play Hugo and Hammer Frenzy, the more I think it's just better overall in most matchups. But 720 is still good and fun. You joining 3S for Evo Japan? I'll probably restream it. Dude, it's like a... Oh, Evo Japan? Heck no. That's out of the cards for sure. I ain't doing that. But I'll restream that depending on what time it is. But I budgeted both Evo Las Vegas and Jazzy's Finale in Denver. If I go like a cheapskate, it's over $1,000, man. I can't do that. That's too much money. I had to fundraise for it. And if I fundraise that don't sit that well with me. I don't like it. $1,000. Be crazy. It's not impossible. I also have a 1-year-old, so it's hard to take 4 or 5 days away. Can't drop a casual couple grand to go to Japan. Not now. Not right now. No. Just come to Chicago tomorrow. Sheesh. Let's see if I missed anything else. Yep, this was asked before. That's it. Cool. Y'all got anything? Oh, Donka. Let's see. I'm reviewing the Twitch chat for... Whoa! Super sticker. $10 from YouTube? Demonchi. Pair character bowing down saying thank you. That's what it says. Oh my goodness. Thank you very much. Appreciate your contribution to the World's Strongest Laboratory. Where eventually we just don't sleep anymore and edit videos all the time. Oh yeah, my friend texted me. I'll check those too. Those Dash 720 Ibuki sessions were so hyped. Oh, Ibuki, her toward medium kick is actually really hard to punish. The overhead move, when you parry it, it's nearly safe. But 720 can punish that. It's just really hard to do because you got to do it really fast. Which clap variation would you go through in neutral to confirm with? It just depends on the match. I like medium because it's kind of the best of both worlds. It has a lot of hit stun, and the recovery is kind of okay. But it allows you to hold Hammer Frenzy for a little bit longer. But even that, sometimes I don't hold it. I hold it too long and it doesn't connect. I've seen too many people try to learn that parry OS stuff before the foundational stuff. Yeah. It's easy to try to run before you can walk in this game. Like, I've encountered so many Urian players that can do unblockables, but they don't mash out of mashable throws or quick tech. I'm like, what? I mean, that's cool. I'm just saying, it's not a difficult thing to learn. Just hit the buttons. Somebody throws you. Tap down. Okay, what did my friend text me? Will this be the end of the video? And fade. I think you hit heavy kick once or twice. I was thinking it might be worth it to neutral jump heavy kick. It's pretty good. Jump heavy kick. You might be able to anti-air super SA3. Yeah. Oh, super. You could. I found out that if you parry the heavy punch, you can EX lariat from a distance, from a big distance. I appreciate the advice, man. And it was a coast-to-coast connection, so it's already a struggle to get in on that character. And, you know, Vi's smart. He's not just hitting stuff. He's smart. If 12 does a heavy punch from a distance, recording settings, so I don't have to do stuff before it. EX Lariat works from a long distance, whereas other times I can't even get over there. It's really great. Also, Hammer Frenzy, I believe, works as well. Oh. Oh, I have to release it at just the right time. That's terrible. It did full. Down heavy punch. But this is a big guess. Maybe. I like it. I'm down. This is hard to aim. I feel like I had to get just a little bit lucky to pull that off. And fade. This is probably not going to work. Oh, it's a little shallow. Oh, that'd be sick, but there's no way. What's 12 gonna do on parry? Throw you? Super's okay. 12 isn't a damage character. He's a runaway, build meter, be annoying. That's pretty much his MO. He's more like Dawson, in my opinion. Just stay away. Yeah. He's fun. He does suck, but he's pretty good against Hugo. Oh, I needed to see if I can parry this and punish it with stuff. Oh. No. I need to see how negative this is.
Prepared for battle. Yeah, I know well. Yeah, I know.
I'm in the lab here. Oh, don't even tell me. Oh, that's not good. Hoping for Hugo in Street Fighter 6? Not me. But you're welcome. Thanks for the class. Cool. Greetings from Honduras. I want to travel to some countries in that region. I don't know what I can do about this. I guess I can manually test it. So, 10 frame. What? What? Okay, how about an 8 frame? Oh my god. You're kidding me. I can punish with light kick? That's terrible. That's it. Oh my, ew. Ew. That's terrible. I mean, he's not getting a lot of reward off of that, but jeez. What's this unblock? Where's the data at? Oh, he's too low. Oh. Wow. It might have to be Hammer Frenzy. Oh. Okay. I can work with that. Can you not red tech this? What the heck? What is my daughter doing? Maybe not. Ah. It's going crazy. Oh, I gotta, okay, I see what I gotta do. Oh. That's kind of slow. Ah. That's an idea. That's so sick. I forgot you can do this. You can input the super and store the input, and then after the screen freeze, you can hit attacks and get it. Because this is slow, it might be worth doing. Man. That sucks. Alright, let me try to parry it again. Oh my goodness. This is ridiculous. Maybe after? Oh! How fast is this? You can definitely parry it after the screen freeze. But I'm not sure how much time you really have. I don't know how I got down this rabbit hole. 4? That's crazy. Where is... Well, it shouldn't be as hard as Chun-Li's. Should be easier than parrying Chun-Li's super after the screen freeze. It's just learning the timing after the screen freeze. But how do you do the rest of it? What? Oh my goodness, you gotta do it so fast. And I bet you can't even punish. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Maybe at a distance I can learn how to time it. Oh my gosh. No, this is not cool. Do the down to forward parry? Can you down parry this? I don't think you can down parry it. Oh. I don't know. It seems to be about the same. Cause I don't know how you do this. You can do 2 parries and it works. It's just the timing of those 2 parries. It might not be that hard. It's just you gotta find the specific time to switch. Yes! Ooh! Ah. This is really hard. This is crazy. I'm a 3S expert. It doesn't have an influence, but it did help me find the timing. It's 2 parries, but that second parry timing is crazy hard to find. Maybe it does help. All right. I'm spending too much time on this. Okay, let's watch first to 10. Let's watch another first to 10 from Game Newton. I'm partial to watching what's his name? YSB or Hayao. But if y'all have any suggestions, I'll do that too. How should I approach the matchup against Hugo as Alex? Hit jump heavy punch. There you go. Hit jump heavy punch a lot early. Like hit the top of his head if he's standing kind of thing. Because it's rare you're going to have a Hugo that just holds crouch while you jump, because it's really risky to do that. Whiff punish with EX/elbow if he whiffs buttons. Build meter with medium punch. That's another thing about Hugo that I don't really mention enough, is it's much easier for other characters to build meter than it is for Hugo. If you hit medium punch, back medium punch with Alex, you're going to build meter faster than I can with anything. Let's see what first attempts we got. Nuki versus... Who's this Dudley? I want to see a Hugo. Which is probably going to be YSB. Does Cruz still play? I'm sure. You recommend it as a Hugo versus Alex match? Really? Was it mine? Maybe I should look at that. YSB versus Yone? Okay. Jeez. Is this it? I might not have seen this.
お疲れ様です。では、ヨネ対 YSB やる前にインタビューをしたいと思います。じゃあ、挑戦者なんですか？
そうですね。
はい。では、ヨネさんお願いします。はい。
Why the hell do I never see Alex players? Never see Alex players charge petition. You don't really need to.
僕の前に立ちはだかるんですよ。
そうなんですか。
さすがにそろそろ決着つけようかってことで。
It is good to get the EX/elbow knockdown because it gives you so much corner carry. That's a good reason to do it. So we have the well-tempered Hugo versus Yone. Ugh, those normals. Even if you play Hammer Frenzy, if you don't have it and you down parry Yun's crouch medium kick, all you can do is your own down medium kick. Which is probably still building a meter. It's still giving him... I never thought about that. If you actually hit Yun with down medium kick and then he tech rolls, he's getting more Grenade in meter. And you're not getting a knockdown. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's so whack. YSB's about to lose. He about to lose this, isn't he? Shoulder. I need to put that video out. How you can pretty much always parry on shoulder if you do forward down or down forward. I once fought YSB. He's scarier IRL. It'd be like that. In Street Fighter Cross Tekken, I played against somebody. Might have been Marvisto. And he was like, I studied the match. I thought I could take you out. But it's different in person. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. He still has about 2 Hammer Frenzies. So it's possible if he gets the right hit. I just don't know how you win this matchup without being able to parry his normals in neutral in a Hammer Frenzy. Because it feels like it doesn't make sense how you can hit him. Even the parry is really risky. That'll do something. Ooh. Oh. Oh. Splash worked. Oh. I don't know. I don't know the solution. Back throw. Oh, still too far away for the 360. Back throw good for the corner. Got a clap. Oh, he kind of missed the reset. 360. That's probably jump medium kick. Hits late. A little more hit stun than jump medium light kick. Ugh. Do you know Yone's palm in Ganagin is double digit plus? It's ridiculous.
されると飽きてくる先生があるんで
Do I hear Streets of Rage music? Hope so.
今ユンのずるい部分出したんでだからなんていうんですかね申し訳ないですけど
I was thinking about turning it off though.
米さん感じたらわざとパームをいい感じで食らってほしいそうじゃないとそうせめて17とかじゃないと早く終わっちゃうし
That Yone up kick is so hard to punish because sometimes he switches sides and your input gets messed up.
分くらいは頑張んなきゃいけないんですよ
Did he link that? Hold on. It looked like just a late cancel.
3号分
Yeah. What does he have for a setup? Just walk up and. He definitely did.
難しいコンボ動画だからやろうとしてミスりました
I should look at what builds the most meter when they're stunned.
今難しいコンボ
Ultra Throw builds some meter,
あれ超むずいっす本体 EX パームに
but I wonder if it builds more meter than Clap. But the Clap might only hit one time and kill them, but the Backbreaker does little damage, so it's probably better for setting up a meter build.
これ
That don't work.
惜しいこれ
So one thing about Yone and Ganagin, a lot of his moves and specials actually do have frame advantage. Like palm, the shoulder was +6 when I looked at it, or maybe 8, I forget. It's still plus. But his universal overhead does not gain frame advantage. Let me test that and make sure I'm not lying to you. I'm pretty sure. Let me. This is a game that likes to make you look stupid. I know this. No, you don't. Block. -7. Yeah. So you still have to space this really well. And otherwise it is -6. Actually made it worse. Why is that? 14 startup? Does it make it faster? $16? His overhead's faster. What? Wait, what? Hold on. 14, frame 15. 14, frame 15. 15, 16. It makes his universal overhead faster by 1 frame. It seems like.
言われたかったこれあ惜しいこれまだ
But the point really is if he does universal overhead, it's actually not his turn anymore.
あこれはやばいですこれやばいです
What that means is, I don't know, but he has to stop for a second.
これやばいですねナイス
Probably try to do a dive kick to switch sides and have pressure.
あれはわざと
Man, a first to 10 against Yone.
相手が突っ
If I were playing a first to 10 against Yone, I would take so many command grabs, and this match would take so long that I would get so bored and then lose because I'm being too aggressive. But I stand by the winning strategy against Yone is to get command grabbed constantly when he has Ganagin, because that does the least amount of damage. And Hugo has the highest health without, well, actually I think it's Urian, right? Between Urian and Hugo, they have the highest health that's unbuffed. Pretty sure it's Hugo and then Urian and then Q, but then Q's number 1 with 3 taunts and then Hugo's below, I think. Something like that. 1-1. Oh, it's so unfortunate. I gotta think of something to do about dive kicks when they whiff, when you parry them high, when you parry them low. What is something that can deal with all 3? See right here? You gotta throw. Regular throw. Regular back throw would have been excellent right here. One thing you do have over Yone and Ganagin that other characters don't, Hugo's normal throw range is really good. He has a lot of range on his normal throw. So when something like this whiffs in your face, this is even better than 360 punish in my opinion, because you put him in the corner. So you have plenty of space to move backwards and then wait for his meter to expire.
YSB で現役中のリープは食らわないって言ってましたね
事前情報で YSB さんは現役中のリープ食らわないはいわかりました
Ugh. How do you hit this character? Oh. Okay. Dang, it's still connected? It's not even the damage that sucks about that. It's the meter build.
これきついんだよな。あ、今
He's about to have Ganage in again.
ライン返してた。
今ティンダーの変身いいですけど
His god mode is a lot.
ティンダーやってると。
See?
まあティンダー俺食らわないよって言ってその数分後に食らってるのを僕見たことあるんですけどいや相手が打ってきたからって言ってよくわからない
本当は打ってこないものだと。
打ってこないから当たんないっていう
あ、これ空中ぐらい。ああ、難しかったけど、これまあでもね、置き攻めもできないし、米さん
Man.
いいでしょうと。
そうですねもうこれユンのゲージがないんでこれまだ全然危ないですね
This matchup sucks.
これなんか一見辛そうに見える
Oh!
ともがいてゲージ溜まるんですよ
なるほど。
This makes me want to play.
怖さちゃんっていうのがあるんで意外にきつくないんですよね思ったよりきつくないです
大丈夫ですか？
思ったよりきつくない
But I'm trying to stick to the plan. I'm going to try to stream every day and have somewhat of a plan and not just
これいい。
ape into playing people. As much fun as that is, and it still does okay,
米さんですね。
I want the channel to grow.
やっぱプレッシャーありますよね YSB あスーパーワスだ
Heavy
これ
kick?
やばいですこれ次ラウンド継続する可能性があります
See, I put the microphone in front of my face, making drastic improvements over here.
あれ潰れるんですか？
Next step,
位置の問題
buy a better microphone.
7年くらい前に佐野さんが潰せるのを発見したんで
This one's pretty good though. It gets the job done.
佐野 DK って言われてるんですけど
あ、なるほど。
だからあれ一回著作権あるんですよ
Oh.
お金払わなきゃいけないんですよユンのしゃがみ中間を
登録されてると。
ドロップキック潰しちゃった場合は佐野さんに1回30円
なるほど。
あと相手の置き攻めに一瞬待って
Neutral jump.
YSP さんに30円払うっていう
Man, it's so devastating.
業界結構きついですね。
決まりがあるんですよスーパークソクソ
Because he can do empty jump low, empty jump palm, empty jump medium punch, actual jump,
カエル君が食らうんで
empty jump command grab, actual jump into command grab. So crazy.
よく入金してますね
Oh, what a bold maneuver.
むずいというかあれ乱数です
Wow, 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 wow. No way.
冷静に逃げてくね。米君も。
そう佐野キックと佐野ボディありますよね早さんね
Looking for shoulder, probably.
あー、じじじ
Oh. Hey, Josh Taylor. I appreciate you, man. 23 months. Welcome back to the world. Stronger laboratory.
勝つよりも男気で勝ちたい
Hope you're doing all right.
あのこの男を男気で超えていきたいと。
I feel like getting space is so important versus Yone. Every pixel you walk him down counts. Then he super jumps up. Yeah. Then he just switches sides or he activates Ganage and then puts you in the corner. Back throw or just carries you to the corner.
ボタン押してるんでね手ではボタン押してないです
It's a matchup that just doesn't make sense.
頭使ったらこんな風にならないじゃん
This matchup is probably the most you would ever hear me be salty about this game. Like, this game sucks, and I mean it. This matchup right here.
当たんないっていう
I'm not playing. This game is bad.
ウルトラスルーマーとはパーム大パンチじゃないと確定しないですね
It's really tough.
これも危ないっすよね
If you have a young player who's really willing to just build meter and only attack with Aegis, it's so bad.
上中足やってもね結局
Not the Necro matchup? No, no. I can deal with Necro much better now.
いかにワサちゃん行くかどうかだと思う
He has things that I can parry and neutral and punish. Yun? If I don't have Hammer Frenzy, I got nothing.
そうなんですよワサちゃん1回入れば2ラウンド取れるっていうパターンもあります
Kind of makes me want to wrap around and play 720 more so that if I do get a good read, I do a lot of damage. Because even Hammer Frenzy, the knockdown against twins is not that great. I think you hit the dash twice and you still don't get that much.
読みですねヒューゴ本当はしゃがみ判定出ないん
So I'm kind of curious to see if YSB lands a Hammer Frenzy, what does he do? Man, it's so surprising to me. Like, Hayao, YSB, Hugo-kun, they don't have a lot of knockdown setups with Hugo.
あれではちょっとないんですけど
I guess they just only play at the arcade. Like, I would think by now they would study each matchup individually and know what to do.
ちょっと今のようネタ男気で勝つっていうかシステム使って勝ってましたよねちょっと稼ぎたい感出てましたよね
まあ、3番でもこの辺で、まあ、ちょっと2つ差ついたし、
I love how stuff is evolving as the meta is deepening and we are finding more stuff. Yeah, I feel like, man, this is going to sound really egotistical. Sometimes I feel like I'm the Grim Reaper of video games. Like, I go in and find, like, what is the best thing to do? There's no more room for exploration.
はい、
I feel like I kind of did that with Rumbleverse, and it wasn't
60円ですね。
the best thing to do.
ピューりますね。あ、
But I mean, it wasn't. Yeah, yeah.
すげえな、おい。
これギガスっすね
I don't want to do it with Tekken. I don't want to get good at Tekken. I'll continue to enjoy Tekken as long as I don't get above red rank. Just don't play ranked anymore and stay there. Hey, I'm a red rank player. Uh-huh.
9の FA 全部超強いと思うんで
What? Oh, that was pretty cool. I hate Yone, but that was pretty cool. Wow. I hate you. Smart man. That's my Tekken 8 take from henceforth. I think I've accomplished getting good enough at the game where if they balance it out and make it pretty good, which I mean is subjective, of course. If they, when they improve the game, I'll say it that way. I already have built the foundation to know how to improve on it. Try jump combo. Yeah, Yone just did a try jump. What happened in the first round? I was too busy yippity yapping about nothing. And YSB got a perfect with no meter? Oh, a bad shoulder. Lariat for the knockdown. Clap, hit. With the corner. Heavy kick? He went for the gusto. Oh! It's clean. That was one bad shoulder. What's sad about it is that I love teaching and coaching, but I can't coach that. Yes, you can. Just make a t-shirt that's blue and be like, hey, just turn blue. Turn blue. Heat smash. Heat activate. Turn blue. Bars. Automatic coaching T8, you just turn blue. I told you. Told you. I think Tekken 8 is going to be the best one, though. Out of Tekken 8, Street Fighter. Maybe there's still hope for Mortal Kombat. But I guess the main two right now would be Tekken 8, Street Fighter, and maybe the League of Legends game. Maybe that will be the new Marvel. We'll see. I have no idea. Tekken 8 will... I don't know, man. I really am hopeful for Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 8. I think they will turn into good games. Tekken meta doesn't change that much with patches. You think so? Oh, Blazing Strike. I forgot all about that. He almost converted off of that? That's disgusting. Man, this matchup stinks. I almost want to skip to the end to see if YSB wins. Because I don't want to sit through YSB losing. Double dash, yep. Ooh. Wait a minute. Okay, if he wins this next match, then YSB might win it. I don't know the result. But if Yone wins, I kind of don't want to watch it. Now I understand why the Third Strike videos only have Hugo when he wins. Friend of ours said top players taking back native Tekken, potentially winning 60 million of some gaming event. Money is the patch. Wow, that is a statement. Man, that whole money thing. Ugh. It's got layers, right? It is KOF player here. Oh, what did I miss? Oh, you guys think Hugo's a good character to start with? That was probably something else. Hugo, I mean, you can play any character in this game and have a good time. Hugo's pretty tough though, but you'll be totally fine if you play people who are your skill level. It doesn't matter who you pick. I picked up a 6, but also want to learn Third Strike. Hey, welcome, man. Let me know if you need anything. Man, he missed a double parry. If you learn Hugo in this game, you're going to have a great time, and then you're going to have a really bad time. And then you're going to have to really get down to, like, doing cool stuff, clutch, and then you're going to have an amazing time. And then you're going to really crash when you fight players who are really good with their player expert Chun-Li, really good young player, you're like, this game is terrible. I don't want to play it anymore. His highs and lows are just opposite. They're really bad. But the highs are really good.
負けた時がきついですね。あれは中ミートの方がよく中
The characters who are easy to learn Third Strike with, I made a video on that many years ago. But in my opinion, Alex is good for learning the game. Ken, of course. Chun-Li, of course. Yone. Those are like the main four. Maybe Ryu. I'd say Ken over Ryu for sure. But I think those four are really good characters to learn the game with. Chun, Ken, Yang, Alex, maybe Dudley. Dudley's neutral sucks though. Remy.
米さんうまいですからね。YSB さん強いですから。
そうですね。そういう対照的な
Tekken 8 at this year's Evo seems like it's gonna be finna be a comedy movie, considering its sheer volatility. I feel so bad for Nee.
YSB という山を
That tweet.
越えていきたいと。
I cannot adapt. That sucks. Because I have two thoughts. Because, you know, sometimes you vent and you're frustrated, you can't figure something out, and then you come back, and then you're like, oh, wow, maybe I was wrong. This is how things can be done. The other side of it could be he just completely, that's just how it is. Can't adapt. Can't.
打ってきたから。あ、またちょっと強い。ユーゴ強い。
しんどいな
思ったより。
Based on what Nia's saying, Tekken has been mostly the same then. I'm not sure what that means. Wow, they parried instead of the up kicks. Maybe I should check if Hugo's jump light kick after the parry will beat the up kick from Yone. I don't think it will. Golly, look at his health, man. Look at his health. Oh my god. Oh, he missed it initially, and then he got. Did he try to red parry the tackle or the shoulder? Why? No need.
あと2章、キャンセル2章っていうタクがあるんで、それの対にな対っていうか、それ潰したいんで早めに壊しを。
One Ganage activation.
のマイクロなんですよね。だからかなり裏を返す。
Oh.
ヒューからすると、うっそ。
I don't wanna know. This matchup is tough. Sometimes I feel like the only time someone beats a really good Yone is because Yone became complacent. I nearly 100% agree with you. It's just so difficult to box him out and punish him consistently enough for a win. But it really is the truth. Like, Ken and Yone and probably Chun are actually awful, awful matchups for Hugo.
ノーフラワーズ咲いたことないですね。咲きそうな花を枯らしてきましたもんね。
I mean, it's all fun and games seeing the highlight clips, but just need a better knockdown than that.
今のもちょっとミスったっぽいですね。ムーンタイマー。
Man, I'm starting to feel like
ヤックン。
maybe 720. Maybe 720 is better because the Hammer Frenzy knockdown is not even that good. Oh!
あるんだって。
All right, he's about to win 8 straight.
取れよな。
He's about to win 8 straight.
手から取れるやつ取んねえのにさ。
なんでチラシ高行ったんすかね
適当なやつ取れる。これ YSB さんなんですよ。理論じゃないんですよ。
Rewind that.
あそこで出てたんだよ
It's just a red parry 360. What's the problem?
あるん
Bow! Bow! He was probably looking for low forward in his shoulder. Whoa! Super sticker. $10 on YouTube? Parrot character bowing down saying thank you. Is that really a donation?
理論じゃないんですよね。
That's crazy.
手伝い2段目赤ブロットですわ。
I'm about to check that again.
咲かないよ。お前らさ、だから咲かないんだよっつって。そう。お前ら取るだろって読むだねからも。分かってねえな。
YouTube streaming is so difficult for no reason.
でも不確定なところをやって
That's a donation. That really is a donation. Thanks again, Jesse. Jesse C, $9.99. Wow.
読みは合ってます。
Appreciate your contribution to the world's strongest laboratory.
埋まるん
Thank you.
今当たったら手レッテーってなるやつですから即死しますちなみに
How does Hugo win this matchup? Logically,
なります
it feels like Demon Wall in Final Fantasy.
ワサッシュって出ちゃうんで
Well, he got one.
やばいですワサッちゃん
So he's done backbreaker, he's done dash twice.
かなり高いですよこれ
Wake up
今の
buttons.
動きですよ画面上見た目地味なんですけどあれ結構今のワサちゃんをね封じるの難しいですよ
He just gets so few opportunity to do something.
あれプロライトワサッシュしちゃうやつなんでかなり男気あります
This is terrible.
あ今のバックジャンプ男気ないですねあれは本当に
いやーでもこれもちょっとハマるなこれは
あ今の
Ah.
これ溜まってまうな
あれ生徒会で内申点取ろうとするプレイスタイルですね
Oh no.
これはあれですねこれ
What do you do?
差別用語出してもいいかなぐらいの今ハンマー
なってますねハンマーマウンテン
やばかったっすね
I'm about to take a peek. Hold on. I'm gonna spoil it for me, but should I? I'm doing it. Hold on one second.
あんなん動画に
勝つから
強いっすよねハートが俺出せないっすもんあれ
ここから勝つから
これ俺個人的には N 投げにした方がいいと思うんですよね
ああなるほどね
やっぱ N 投げね結構ワサちゃんノーマルワサちゃんぐらいあるんで N 投げ結構
Who recommended this match?
今うまいですね2段目
I'm gonna ruin Jimbo's day.
たまたまです
あこのカード
今のも今のワサッシュ
何が見えて何が見えて
Oh, something.
ボーンからの
これムーン食らったらやばい
Oh.
だって今ムーンだったらやばいんですよ
Oh.
今手離してよかったのか今のムーン食らうとね次ラウンド継続するんで
あ
It's okay, Mr. Maddock. It's okay. Sheesh. Punch a bunch of buttons. Thanks for following. Appreciate that. On Twitch. He's pulled it. Now he's sad. No, I'm sad at how this, this matchup is so difficult.
今潜伏してます
あでも切られてませんこれ
大丈夫ですね
It's not so bad for Hugo. I'm not that good with him. And I almost win versus a top Yone player just today. What?
わかんないから今 YSB 元気なんですよ
あ元気な
What?
はい
When?
そうそうそう
Who?
もう少し水分弾かないと
なるほどなるほど
静かになんないから
あこれかくるわあでも不運なことに
If presented with this matchup, would you rather pick your Yang or stick Hugo?
ゲージとか
If it's off stream,
そうなんですそうなんです
I might pick Ken
言うて
or Yang.
ですからね
そうですね
On stream though, it's gotta be. I'll play Hugo and maybe even 720.
あこれやばいっすやばいっすよ
The problem is this is a first to 10.
ムーン入ると
The amount of endurance you need as a Hugo player in a first to 10 with this playstyle of Yone is so mentally tiring.
よく今ヨネさん逃げましたね連続
Like they are sitting pretty. The young player's having a good time. They're allowed to hit many buttons. You're not.
ブロってムーンタイマー発動したかもしれないですねガードからブロったんでムーンタイマー発動してる
But I mean, you notice YSB won 2 so far.
いい音してたんですよねボタンはね
More than enough for a first to 1 or a first to 2.
切れない
ムーンタイマーはねワサちゃん切れやすいんですよそうなんですよムーンタイマー飽きちゃうんですよねほらねちょっと切れてるんですよムーンタイマーはねワサちゃん継続しないんですよ
えぐいえぐいえぐいえぐいって
Almost, almost.
あーほら元気ないでしょあそこで中
あ
元気ないんですよ YSB
なるほど
あんな
Oh,
ないですよ
oh did he punish the forward dash with medium punch?
トライこれちょっと
安牌置かないですよ
He. Oh my god.
あんな安牌を
Oh.
ないですから
これちょっと
You ever get punished by like an agent
そうなんですよ
activation?
もういい感じよ
Oh.
あーちょっと絶望的かいやあるぞ
ありますね
さあこれ削れる削れる
削れないです
Oh.
オレンがてか多分ワンボールハンマーにしたのかな
Seems like the hits got separated there too.
別にユンがの解説とかないですよ今更20年ですユン強いなーっていう
ユンはなかなかね下中盤でちょっとゲージが溜めにくいから中足で溜めながら多分やっていくのが僕はセオリーなのかなと思ってるんですけど
そのセオリーを今日やめて男気で勝ちたいお姉さんですからね
ああそうかそうかそうかそうか
だってさっきねイニシ
I'm looking at chat.
Hugo YSB の攻略をヨネさんはね、僕は今日
For a first to 10, you get to choose your poison against a very solid Yone. I mean, Ken and Chun-Li do pretty well against him.
抜けれますって言ってましたから今日。
Makoto can make it work. Maybe Dudley's okay. Dijin Ryu. I actually want to see more Yun first to 10s now.
あ、これやばいっすね。これね。
I don't think he's that. I mean, he's obviously one of the best characters, if not the best character besides Chun-Li. Okay, just imagine a courtroom where we have defendant for third strike and defendant for 5 or 6, Street Fighter 6. Yeah, but what about Yun though? Well, I can't really. Third strike is a game of execution, mental stamina, and high-level decision making. Yeah, but what about Yun though? You got us. But this is an extreme example. This matchup in particular. And it's not to say that YSB couldn't win this, or Hugo as a character couldn't win against this Yun player. It's not impossible. There's plenty of things that YSB could be doing better. It's just, I could suggest like 20 things every round that he could do better. But good luck doing it. Some of it really is like a guess better type advice. Some of it is executing better. Or better combos. But it's just, this matchup sucks. Third strike is a game of fighting. Yep.
そういう感じが見られますね。
今日ずっとこれですよね。そうですね。テキスト通りですよね。赤本やって大学行って
Even if Yun didn't have Ganage, this matchup would be troublesome.
優秀ですね。
I think it's because of dash punch. Like, Yang can't convert off of low forward Rekka from a distance as well as Yun can. And you can use dash punch as a whiff punish. I think that's a more stronger point.
マックス。だからここで引いてスーパーロング引いて
Ugh.
話違うんですけど。
One of the first attempts of all times. This is ugly. Ugh. Golly.
これは YSB さん嫌なやつ。
Man, it's just what... I was thinking to use medium punch there, but the Yun player also used crouch medium kick, which is good against Hugo's medium punch. It don't even hit him.
このカラジャンプ壊し小木とか投げてくるのだけはちょっと、
すごいですね。
ワンチャンやばいかもしれないですね。
これちょっとモード入ってるな。さっきのしゃがみ中継モード移行するんですよね。
あ、なるほどなるほど。
Oh, you see how late that was?
あ、なるほどなるほど。
Look at how late the crouch light kicks are linked. It's absurd.
元気ないとよくわかんないビンタ振ったりするんですよね。元気な YSB
Are these first attempts character locked? Probably. Probably. Most Japanese players are character locked by design. For like this kind of thing, for their signature character, you know, it's not really about winning or winning easierly.
さあ、ここで。はい。
Hey, it's like a, it's like a, it's like a hype noise that gets fizzled out. Hey, hey, you got one.
サビと、この、
Okay.
君に対してジャンプ中継が当たって、
うわー、うまい。うまい、これ。
What's up with the air parry pushback? I wish I knew. I don't know the explanation for that.
リバーサル。
YSB まだ死んでないですね。リバーサ出てれば強いですね。YSB は
3段入っちゃった。3段入っちゃった。
難しいですよね。ヒューゴアイトさん。
Maybe it's got something to do with collision boxes.
絶望か。あーっとけ。
Oh,
これは
I'd do it. Oh, oh, he released it just in time. Get one more. One more. Clap. Yeah. 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 A3.
あの先端で埋まってんだ。なんだろう、バックステージ。
I don't think this is real either.
出てあるよ。
Did you dash and walk up? Ooh, that's the plan.
どこ行った
He actually does have knockdown setups for twins. He's done backbreaker for the frame kill, double dash for the frame kill, and then dash, walk, clap. It's good. Good. Inspirational.
違う違う違う違う違うでしょ
This one jumps like 30 per round, and this guy never aircraft him. It's not that simple, man.
わかるけど YSB ってやっぱ
It's actually not very easy to backbreaker,
でもやっぱ
and it can be baited. You can do light kick, dive kick.
ここの流れを
It's not always consistent against dive kick. Consistent against dive kick. And the way the young player is working the neutral makes it even harder to see the jumps.
入ってますね、しゃがみガード。これ入ると、多分ね、画面内は4年にも伝わるんですよ。前方今行かなかったじゃないですか。なんか、ちょっと嫌
Yeah,
な
should have air block. Ah, that's unnecessary.
入るパターンですよね。あ、これよ。
Oh, he reset.
相手にこれ補正金のは結構なかなかですよ。
なかなかっすね
He's already at half a Canadian.
これいけそうだな米さん相当いい形ですね
今切って勝ったのもかなりでかい
でかいですよねでもここで出なかったか
Counter picking is admitting defeat. You can't adapt by picking Chun.
今のも危ないっすね。
No. I think I disagree with that a little bit. I think if you're the ultimate tournament player, you pick the correct tool for the job.
ここ一番で一番やばいの食らってしまう
そうですね。ちょっと
これでリーチかかってしまう
I suggested the wrong video. I thought YSB brings it back to make it 810. And I'd like to apologize to everyone involved.
裏ですね。裏。
逃げていく捕まっちまうよ
I do think in this matchup, young players realize that they must play this way. If they play too aggressively, it's too risky. And it gives Hugo a much greater chance at success than normal.
今のミートうまいっすね。あそこはパームハンマー行かなきゃ
If you actually give him things to parry,
ガードするんですけど、そこをちゃんと
then he can actually do some damage. But if you just wait until you get Canadian, like this is the perfect way to play it.
現役強すぎた
Canadian.
良くなかったですね。アキリとよくわかんないビンタさっき言った
Ah.
出てました
出てましたね。
なるほど
経験薬入んないときついです。入れば全然まだありますね。
よく知ってますねわさびさんのことなんか解体新書でも作ったらいいんじゃないですか
で、言えって言われました。
いや
Can we watch? Oh,
今日、
a first to 10 where a young gets 10 0'd? Does that happen?
なんかそういうの言ってって言って。はよさんいないから、お前暇だろって言われて。
I do want to see a first to 10 where the young player doesn't dominate.
強すぎませんこれ
This is a rough one.
半分はいゲージ光る
他のキャラに比べ
You gotta do so many tricks.
ないと思うんですよ。辛いんですけど、他のキャラに比べると、やっぱりダメージが、ヒューゴ
Back throw.
体力高いのと、やっぱり触れなきゃいけないから、あ
なるほど
えて触れてもらえると、
Oh!
やっぱり他のキャラに比べると、リターンが取れる
It's almost over.
ウィリアムから見ると、
I think it's almost over.
行きやすいのかなっていうのはありますね。
まあ言うてる間にスーパーリーチでヨネ君これ取ったら勝ちなん
This
で
is making me uncomfortable.
今のボディよく食らなかったですね。あれ男気ですよ。あれかなり食らいやすいんですけど、ブロったりとか、なんか暴れたいんで対空打ったりとか、早めボディってかなり食らいやすいんですよ。よくバーサスの
Hey, just backbreaker him. Why didn't you backbreaker him?
あれ景気薬なんです
Missed an opportunity for a 360. You're out of your mind. Punch a bunch of buttons. You're off your rocker.
これちょっとやっぱり、ムーンタイマーから YSB さんちょっと飽きた感じ正直ありますね。
Hey, just simply be ready for everything at all times. Don't make any mistakes. And defend successfully against Canadian. Also, guess better.
第3で
Matchup's terrible.
まさにその通りですねわさびさんのいやヨネさんわさびさんは
Sheesh.
勝利ということでね
I bet Hayao would do better, though.
どうかをご本人からね、
まあ
聞いて
そう
みたい
そうそうそうまあこういう
Made your butt itch.
まあわさびさんの方から
Ugh,
最初ははい
that was not cool.
はいマイクありがとうございましたじゃあ変わりますね YSB さんで
Good matches.
ありがとうございました。強かった。なんかいろいろ練習してたんですけど、いや難しいなと思って。
Boss versus Mester?
いいマイク。
I would prefer to see Yun against not Chun or Ken. Maybe Makoto. Mester plays. Boss is a Yang player, right? Let's see what else we got. I kind of just don't want to see Yone anymore for a little bit. Let's see what else we got. What's this? Samurai? Takahashi? How does Yone fare against Yang? It's a pretty good match. Yone's still better, but it's way more closer. It's probably close to even. And Yone gets the edge because of Siembu. Yang is better without meter. That's always been the phrase, and I think that's still true to this day. Without meter, Yang is a better character. But with Canadian, he pretty much always has it too. Ugh. I need a palate cleanse. Five-star. Wonder where this archive is at. Where these matches are pulled from. Because there's probably a lot more than this. Oh, isn't this the Chun-Li player that... Like, these are the two best Chun-Lis, right? Oi. Wow. I still don't understand why Chun-Li players use that move at all. Like, what's the point? I guess it goes over the crouch medium kick. But it don't seem like it does enough to justify ever using it. Like, that move was a mystery to me. Maybe Chun-Li players are just bored and they want to do something different. Like, why use that? What for? Is it a way to gain the edge in the meter warfare? It should go over both down medium kick and down medium punch. So maybe it's worth considering there. It just doesn't do anything. Tired of hitting crouch medium kick? Ugh. Oh. I think it's both a meme to hate on this matchup, but also valid. Yeah, the Chun mirror is kind of boring at best. I like it. I can find things to enjoy from it, but kind of plays out the same. It's a great surprise overhead and helps the groove. Love to use. I'm about to boot up Fight Cade and play a first to 5 right now. Probably lose. I'll probably lose. Tominaga versus Yakun. Actually, I do want to see that. If I can find it. And all these underground. Oh, I think I found it. 10 years? 10 years ago? Oh my goodness. The audio quality. Let me just skip to the middle and see. Sheesh, 10 years ago. What else we got? Hey, it's me. Oh, wow. This video did pretty well. I was gonna make another version of this video on my YouTube channel. That's not tech. Yes, it is. It's not new tech. Who said it was new? Oh, they put new? Best of 5. I wouldn't have titled this way. I wouldn't say it's new. But cool. I'm glad that's doing well on the Best of 5 channel. I think that's going to wrap it up for me. I don't know about new, Chief. Yeah, I wouldn't have titled it this way.
That's the problem. It's not only about getting hit by low attacks.
He's playing that YouTube algo. There's better ways to do it. It's all good. It'll be all right. I'm going to get out of here. Nice productive day today. I have a couple of YouTube videos to edit from that. It's cool. Nice. Hey, thanks everybody for the support. All the donations on YouTube are out of control. I really appreciate that. And on Twitch, still doing good. Yep. I'm trying to do 2 videos every day and 1 short. And it's working out so far. Cool. Y'all have a good day. Appreciate y'all tuning in.